Hey y'all, welcome back to the Power and Lifting Podcast. I'm your host, Solana Lewis. Today I have a great conversation with Nataleigh Hunter. She is up and coming in the 60-kilo weight class. She competed this year at Raw Nationals and got third place in her first ever Raw Nationals, where she also won her pro card and placed in first for junior as she's only 20 years old. So we really got to dive into her prep, prior injuries, just life as a powerlifter, but how she transitioned from different sports. Lots of good stuff. It was a great conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, make sure you share it with a friend. Make sure you leave a comment on the podcast and you give us a rating. Please, it helps us so much to get the podcast out to more people. So I appreciate all of you. And let's go ahead and dive into today's episode. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Power and Lifting Podcast, where today I have Nataleigh Hunter, who competed recently at USAPL Raw Nationals in a 60-kilo weight class and did a killer job and was not even in prime time, but still managed to be top 3 from outside of prime time, which is very hard to do. How are you today?
I'm good.
I'm excited to talk to you. Overall, I remember, I don't know if you're aware, I'm also with Two White Lights with their podcast. Do you ever listen to your podcast?
I've listened to a part of one, but that's because my coach sent it to me because they mentioned me.
Okay, that's all that matters. So yeah, we had mentioned you, and I remember talking to Steve about you before the podcast, and he was like, obviously watching you because he coaches Christiane Hazard, and he's like, I think she's gonna be like, I think even if she's not in prime time, I think she's gonna be top 3. Like we have to watch her, we have to really watch her. I was like, okay, but at the time I didn't even know you had TikTok, so I was like, she just posts selfies. So how am I supposed to gauge where
Yeah.
she is though?
Yeah, my coach actually told me to stop posting my lifts just because of the whole social media game. We were like, all right, we're just gonna go in blind. Like that's how I like to do it, so I don't mind.
Okay, so that was intentional.
Oh yeah, it was intentional because usually I post my lifts.
That makes sense. Cause I was genuinely wondering. I was like, she's newer and coming up. I'm like, why would she want to stop posting her list with such a big following when I know those kind of posts would get you even more likes? Because they're like, oh my god, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, like I've hit PRs on SBD and I didn't post them and it was so hard not to because I was so excited, but I just held off.
Oh man. So when you were going into this meet, actually, first of all, who's your coach? I don't even know who that is.
Patrick Carr. He's a part of TSG. Yeah.
Was your coach? Okay, this makes a lot of sense because he always tells certain people not to put Patrick,
Yeah.
I hate you now because I want I'm gonna damn Patrick, we talked about this. It's difficult to do preview shows if your athletes aren't posting. I didn't know you were with him. That's dope. Okay, cool. So now knowing you have Patrick as a coach, I know he's very detail oriented. I've had him handle me. He's amazing. So going into
Yes.
the meet, I know this was well, would you consider this like your first really big meet in your opinion?
Yeah. Like I walked in and I looked around and I saw all the people. I saw all of the lifters and I was like in shock because I'm not necessarily like a people person. I like to keep to myself. So when I got back to like behind the stage, I just kind of put my headphones on and I was trying not to freak out and look around at all these people because it was so many. It was packed, jam packed. I've
And
never been in a competition like that.
that's another thing with nationals, especially if you're not in the prime time. Like I have coached back there during non-prime time sessions, and it's so packed, and it can be very overwhelming. And you can get easily, in my opinion, get overstimulated depending on the kind of person that you are. So you have to be really specific in what you do in the back to stay focused.
Yeah, big time. I was literally so like I said, I keep to myself. Um, there was there was a corner, and in this corner, it was like a door that was locked, and it was super dark there. It was small, enough maybe to fit 2 people. I warmed up right there, inside that corner, where nobody could see me, I couldn't see anyone, had my headphones on, my band with me. That's where I was.
Nice. Are you the kind of person who like has music on the entire time, so you're not focusing on people?
Yep, the whole time. Patrick has to, whenever he talks to me, he always like signals me down because he knows.
Nice. Okay, so what did you and Patrick talk about before Raw Nationals? Like, what were your specific goals? And again, it's more interesting because Patrick knows you're strong. Patrick also knows you're not in prime time. So, like, what was the strategy here?
So we wanted to, one, take the record for junior and open. And it was kind of hard because we knew Christiane Hazard was coming in with a fire under her tail. So we kind of guesstimated. I actually didn't do what I was supposed to. We kind of lowballed it on my squat because it wasn't moving as it should have. Um, but I personally wanted to lay it all on the floor. But Patrick, as a coach, he's like, Nataleigh, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're here to win. We're here to get you on the board and we're here to get you on the podium for juniors and open. And I was like, yeah, we should. Maybe you're right. Like, I'll listen to you. Like, we'll go with whatever you say. So that was basically the game plan, was just to get on the podium, just to like secure my pro card and everything.
That's a big one too because you ended up getting your pro card because you got that top three position.
Yep, my pro card at my very first nationals.
I know that's huge. So, what was the original hope for squat? Because you ended up at 403.
Yeah, so I hit 403. I've hit 405 twice in prep, and I was going for 413.
Mm.
So, yeah. So I was feeling confident, obviously, that I was going to hit that, as 405 in prep moved smooth, easy. But that just wasn't the case on comp day, which is okay. I'm satisfied, not necessarily satisfied, but I'm happy with what I did.
Well, with the second being 391, and I wish my memory did not fail me. I don't quite remember how fast it moved, but did it just move like slower or?
So I definitely sunk it. I sunk it. Um, because I was really nervous. I had Saber telling me that I was a little high, which freaks me out because I don't want to do a squat just to like put all that effort in just to end up high.
Wait,
Um,
did he say that like on the platform or like in like your DMs? Like,
so Saber actually was the one that has helped me out like through my powerlifting journey so much. My first competition, he came here for the Delaware Purge, and obviously Delaware isn't necessarily a huge powerlifting state. Like nobody powerlifts here, nobody
yeah.
knows what it is. So he came, and I went up to him, and I was like when we were doing check-ins, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know how this works," because my coach at the time was from Canada. Um, I was like, "I don't know how this works, but am I able to hit a world record here?" And I was in team 3 at the time. And he like kind of like looked at me crazy, like, oh, like probably this is some young girl, her first competition ever, thinking she's going to hit a world record when typically people like bomb out, you know what I mean? Their first competition. Um, so he kind of like brushed it off, whatever. And then I actually did end up breaking the world record for team 3, my first competition. And it was a local meet, so obviously it didn't count, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, it kind of just like amazed him, and he like fell in love with me as a person, as a lifter, like my devotion and everything. And he hooked me up with Patrick. He's been helping me along the way. He DMs me because Patrick talks to him as well and sends him some of my videos. He
Mm-hmm.
DMs me, tells me not DMs, but emails me, tells me like what I need to be doing, how my squats are looking, how my bench is looking, all that jazz. So he's been a huge factor in powerlifting for me.
Okay, two things. Number one, when you say hey DMs you, I'm like he definitely emails you because I know Saber and he will not be DMing you, but you
I don't
like
like,
big.
yeah, like
Good.
I don't know, because DM is always the first thing that comes to my mind because typically
I
that's
know.
like the social platform nowadays. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, he emails me. I could
But
never
number
see him DMing
two,
me.
oh my god, no, I think he's DM'd me once ever, and it's because I accidentally DM'd him. He's like, and his response was just email me. He didn't respond to what I said.
Yes.
He just said email me.
That's
Um,
him.
but this is huge because like it all coming back to me now. I remember him posting one day, but I did not remember who it was posting like, "Oh my gosh, this athlete came in and I like they asked me about breaking a world record. I rolled my eyes, and then boom, they did it." I'm like, "Oh my god,
That was me.
that was you! Hey, hi!"
Yeah, hey.
That's incredible though that he's like that he after that like continues to help you so much. Cause I know like when Sabo like finds like a lifter that he's like you're impressive to me, like he really gives them a lot of his energy and really for nothing in
Yeah.
return, which is pretty incredible. Like he's a great dude.
He really no, yeah, he really is. Like he gave me Patrick's information just on the dot. He was like, "I have a coach for you." And I was like, "Okay, send him my way."
Nice.
Which I'm
So
so happy. So,
yeah. Because like obviously Patrick is a great coach, but also like do you guys ever get to train in person? I know he's near that area. No, he's in Virginia, so I guess you guys don't get to.
no,
Okay.
we don't get to because he lives in Virginia. It's like a 3-hour drive from Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just had something and it's escaped my mind. 1 second. It'll come back to me. It will not. It's okay. It'll come back later. But
Yeah.
anywho,
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
that's my life. Going back to Raw Nationals. So we hit the 4-3 squat. We get that. And then I do know that we ended up missing the third bench, which was 214.9. Was that going for a PR all time or did you hit that in training?
So, in training, I hit 226 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Um, I had to like 215 should have been extremely light. I hit that for literally like an RP6 in prep. Um, but I did have to undergo a major cut because my body just decided to start its period super late, and I hold on to everything when I start. So I jumped from comp weight, which I was 131, to 142 a week out.
That
Yeah.
is a
And
big
yeah,
jump.
whenever I start, I hold on to every little thing, like because I drink a ton of water. So I
Mm-hmm.
hold on to all my water, I hold on to all my food. Um, it's definitely something that I've always struggled with, like mentally, because it takes an appearance, as it's 10 pounds. But no, that's how I've always been my entire life. I always gain 10 pounds on my period, literally, unless I like keep my strict diet and all that jazz. But I was on my diet and it was not working because I was stressed out. I was really, really stressed out. So Patrick told me not to, and I didn't tell him this, but I did starve myself for 4 days straight in order to make weight. Like I went to sleep crying because I was so hungry. I had to force myself to sleep. I was taking like Benadryl because that knocks me out. I was
Mm-hmm.
taking Benadryl every night to like force myself to go to sleep so I would not eat. It was really bad, but in the end, I ended up making weight. I ended up making
You did.
underweight actually.
I'm about to say you
So,
went in at 129.9, so you actually somehow
yeah.
2 pounds light.
Well, because that night before, like the night prior, I hopped on the treadmill at the hotel, and I also took a very, very hot bath to sweat out absolutely everything that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and that just dropped my weight immensely. And I had like lower stress levels. I don't know why, but I was super, super stressed out when I was like home. But then when I got there, I was like, oh, I got this. You know what I mean? So then like my stress just kind of started to settle down. My body started to settle down and I made weight and I was excited. But I'm back on track now. So I'm good.
Oh man, that's tough because so wait, when you say starve for 4 days, you mean like straight up like no food for 4 days or like just super low calorie, but we're still tracking? Like what was
I'm
it?
I'm talking like rice cakes and chicken.
Oh my
And
god.
that's it. Yeah. And I also did a water manipulation as well. So,
Well, I figured that part.
yeah,
But how did
maybe
you
I
do
feel
that
like
though?
everyone
Because you
does.
see, yeah, but you say you tend to hold into water no matter what. So did you drink more water than normal in the beginning to water load?
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then I just cut it out. Patrick told me, he literally specifically told me not to starve myself. He said, Nataleigh, do not starve yourself. And there I was, starving myself.
Okay, well, but looking back though, like number one, do you even regret it because you made weight? And number two, what do you think you will do next time if you have a big meet, but like your period happens to be a week out?
So, um, next time, uh, well, first off, no, I don't regret it.
Okay.
It worked out in my favor, like for the dots portion, because I placed second. Um, and next time, I should probably, chill out because I did go on like a mini because I'm on a diet like 24/7 all days of the year. I kind of went a little crazy. I kind of ate some Applebee's, ate some Texas Roadhouse. Because before my period, like I get hungry for
Mm-hmm.
everything that I don't eat. So I'm not gonna do that next time because I have
Okay.
learned my lesson.
And then, okay, hold on, pause. Did he like give you like advice though for like how to like lose? Like, did he know what your weight was?
Yeah, yeah, he had me tracking my weight for I think it was like a week and a half, and I had to weigh myself 3 times a day. So I
Mm-hmm.
kept it in my notes and then I sent it to him, and yeah, he helped me through the entire thing. But he told me not to starve myself, but I did. So it's okay.
Okay, all right. So, wait, does he know as of now that she did starve herself, or is he gonna find out if I
He's
send
gonna
him a
find
clip?
out. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
find out.
this
So
is hilarious, dude. Like Patrick is like sitting there, like I have to figure out why her bench dipped. I can't figure it out, and literally, you're like, so actually,
yeah.
oh my
Actually, it was
god.
yeah.
All right, well, Patrick, hi. I'll send you this clip later so y'all can have a good conversation to help you for next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get to your deadlift. Now, I remember watching your deadlift, and the last one, in my opinion, moved excellent. So, what's your opinion? If you making the face, I thought it moved great.
So, yes, it very much did. I kind of like got unbalanced because it moved so fast. I didn't expect it to move that fast. Um, we actually lowballed it with my deadlift, obviously,
That was my question.
because yeah, so we lowballed it. Reason being, I could not hold on to the bar. So
Mm.
my second attempt, um, I don't remember what it was. Uh,
Your second was 424.
yeah, so 424, I was holding on with bare minimum fingers, and I actually have a picture of it, and like my fingers look like they're like tearing off, literally. Yeah. So during prep, I had a problem with that as well, was holding on to the bar, which is the most frustrating thing ever. Um, so we were like, we're either gonna do 200 or we're gonna do what was it, 197.5?
Yes.
Yeah. So we put in 200, and then Patrick was like, you know what? We're not risking it. You're getting on the podium, dropping it to 197.5. And he didn't tell me, which I always tell him not to tell me what I'm about to
Mm.
do. Literally don't tell me. I don't want to know. Um so he dropped it. I went out there. It moved like really fast, like surprisingly fast that I got like off balance,
Mm-hmm.
but no, it was supposed to be 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you sound like you're not thrilled with it being 197.
Well, I mean, of course not, but I think it was definitely the safe bet with
Mm-hmm.
my grip problem. Because it's just spontaneous. It depends on like the bar placement in my hand. If I mess it up, literally just like a centimeter, it's gonna
Yep.
slip right out. It's super scary. I've struggled with that since my first competition. So I don't really mind. I mean, I got on the podium, I got my pro card, I placed second in dots. I am That's fine by me.
Like
I always have
533 dots. Like,
yeah, like I always have room to improve. I know what I'm capable of. I know that I have so much more in the tank. I'm fine. So I'm just excited for my next comp.
nice. And yeah, I was just thinking to myself too, like, it's a hard I mean, honestly, I can tell his game day coaching was so spot on with you because it's really difficult to be coming from the higher session or like session 1 or 2, whichever one it was, and you're probably put the right number on the board, thinking, okay, can like the next session hit this? And then also you're like,
Yeah.
but we can't afford to miss our third attempt deadlift. So that does seem like it was the right decision. Overall, do you guys have any plans to help out with the grip? Because that's hard. Like just like you said, I know some lifters who struggle with grip, and when that's the case, like if they move their finger a quarter
Yeah.
centimeter more to the right, like they drop it. Like I've
Yeah.
seen it. So it's so particular. It's like, what are you guys like working on to like help out with that?
Actually paying attention to my grip.
Oh, that's good.
Um, like, obviously, like, when I deadlift, I don't really think. I just do, and that's how I am with every single lift. Because if I overthink it, I'm gonna mess it up. Um, so I need to start actually zoning into my grip. Because I'm more worried about my hips as I've had, like, injuries or my back because I've had injuries. The last thing that I'm thinking about is my grip when it should be the first thing I'm thinking about. So it's definitely, like, it's a mind change that I need to do that we are working on.
No, that's really good. I mean, even like being mindful of specific things can be difficult because, like, in powerlifting, so we're like, all right, we gotta make sure my hands are in the right spot. We gotta make sure my feet are in the right spot. I gotta make sure I brace.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you have to be like, yo, your focus is your grip, and then go. Like
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah, literally. And that's what I did for my last attempt, and I feel like that's why it moved so fast, is because I
Mm-hmm.
was actually tuned in with my grip, and it flew, which blew my mind, but it flew.
That's amazing. You mentioned injuries for your back. So, like, what injuries have you struggled with in the past?
Well, I've struggled with back injury since I was literally a child.
Mm,
I played a lot of sports growing up. Um, I it was my sophomore year in high school. I was running hurdles and I snapped my lead leg down, which pushed my femur into my pelvis. Yeah, and it ended up chipping my pelvis, and I had to get my femur literally lodged out. I
mm,
like yanked out. Yeah, it did not feel good, but I literally couldn't walk because one leg was longer than the other. So that was the start of like my hip and back problem that was like simultaneous. The start of my back was like the bad part was my freshman year because I was lifting with the football boys in the morning because I always went to the 6 a.m. lifts before school. And we were deadlifting and I had no idea what I was doing, zero. And so I would listen to the coach. I listened to everything he told me. Um, I told him I didn't have any more left in me. Like I was super fatigued, whatnot. And he was like, the whole coach spiel, Nat, you
mm-hmm.
got this, you got this. And I was like, yeah, I got this. Yeah. I ended up herniating a disc in my back. Um, so I had to go to the hospital, had to get x-rays, MRI, all that jazz done. And then I've had like problems with both of these things ever since. And then it was my prep to the competition I did before nationals. I actually ended up herniating 2 discs a week out from my competition. Yeah,
Bro,
which
okay,
was
wait, that was September. Oh no, sorry, that was March of this year.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
February then.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I herniated 2 discs. Um, I took, I literally took the rest of the week basically off. I didn't go to the gym. I took off of work because I couldn't walk. Uh, so I literally just stayed home and did rehab day in and day out. I kid you not. I woke up, I had a routine, took an ice bath, got out of the ice bath, hopped in bed, put a heating pad to my back. I did mobility, I did stretches. I was eating properly. I was drinking enough water. I was taking my supplements. Like this was a legit all day, everyday occurrence. And then sure enough, I was able to show up to the competition and do what I needed to do to secure 500 dots. So that's
That's
how that
impressive.
went, which yeah, I was actually super thrilled that it worked out that way. I was scared that I was kind of like doing all of this stuff for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like rehab, I think I am hard on it. Like even my warm-ups every single day for the gym, I basically do rehab work and it works for me. I haven't, knock on wood, like I haven't suffered from an injury that bad ever since that time because I actually put in the time to do my stretches and mobility.
I definitely think that is underestimated by a lot of people, like how a really solid warm up will like help you feel really good for each session, especially when you're like 20 years old, like you. Like people are like,
Yeah,
yeah, when I'm 30. Like I see mad people
yeah,
in this sport like walk in the gym and go to the bar. And like it still blows my mind. People are like Solana, it's no big deal. Like, yo, I could never just like get under the bar and go. Like
yeah. Yeah, that's actually how I used to be. I lifted a lot when I was in high school, and my it was my senior year. That's when I really started to like tune it up a bit. Like I squatted 315 my senior year before a game, like before a lacrosse game. And I would just go up to the bar and be like, "All right, we're squatting today." Like I wouldn't do anything before. Same thing with bench. I would do nothing before. I didn't deadlift. I actually, fun fact, after I herniated my disc my freshman year, I didn't deadlift until probably about what 2 years ago when my boyfriend and I got together and I
mhm,
traveled to Ottawa and because that's where he lives, and I started in a powerlifting gym there, and that's when I like started to properly learn from the guys there how to deadlift, and then that's when I like started getting back into it. It was really scary at first,
mhm.
but I haven't been deadlifting for long, like at all, because it was just never really a thing for me after I herniated my disc.
Yeah. I mean, also, did you go straight to sumo?
So no, no. I pull conventional, and I pulled think conventional, I pulled like 330 for like 4. And this guy, Nat Galloway, he's a trainer, but he's also like a photographer and everything and a power lifter. He was like, Nat, let's try to pull some sumo. And I was like, yeah, let's try to pull some sumo. Like, why not? What do I have to lose here? And so then sumo didn't work for me because it really messed with my adductors and my hips. And so now I pull like a frog, like I pull like a wide conventional, which works for me, so I'm cool with it.
If it's working, don't try to fix it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna mess with it. It's gonna stay just how it is.
No, I was curious because I'm like, you're saying with the hip thing, so I'm like, well, the hip that might make sumo hard, but like for the back that makes
Mhm.
sumo better. So I was like, they should like play around with it. Like,
Yeah, I it took me a while to like actually find like a comfortable position.
mhm,
But when I found it, and I look like a frog when I deadlift, and I don't even care because it
no one
works.
cares because literally you
Right.
have a 533 knots at your first national, so no one cares.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, I'm seeing here like you did your first meet in 2022, and you mentioned like in Ottawa like 2 years ago is when you got into powerlifting. So you
Mhm.
basically got into it because your boyfriend introduced you to the sport.
So, um, actually, when I was in high school, I had a lot of problems with like, because like I said, I was really competitive in sports. I had a lot of problems with like knots, like popping up in my back, knots popping up in my calves. I had I tore some ligaments in my ankle. My dad actually took me to his friend, Brad, and he has his own like garage gym, and it's really sick. And I was about like 14 through like 17. Um, I was going, and in his gym, he has quite a bit of powerlifters in there. It's probably about 5 of them. And they were all just like squatting like 800, 900, deadlifting like insane numbers, benching insane numbers right in front of my eyes as like a 14-year-old girl. He was playing like some like metal music, like it was like hardcore. I was like amazed. Like I felt like I was just at home. I was like, this is awesome. Like I want to do this. So Brad, he actually helped me out a lot with my recovery, a lot with like when I'm injured, like even when I got injured during my preps, I still go to him. because he helps me out because he knows what he's doing.
Hmm.
Um, but no, so basically that's what he kind of introduced me, my dad and Brad, to like the powerlifting era. But it wasn't until I went to Ottawa with my boyfriend that I actually like was like, well, it was because the owner of the gym was like, Nataleigh, you literally just hit a world record squat. And I was like, you're lying. Like, you're lying right now. And he was like, no, I'm being so serious. And he was like, you're not too far off deadlift either. And I was like, what? I was like, that doesn't make sense. I was like, I don't train for this. And he was like, well, you need to. And I was like, okay. So Ben, he helped me like get into it. And Ben, my boyfriend.
Hmm.
And ever since then, like that powerlifting community in Ottawa at 613 Lift is absurd. It's like undeniably the most comforting place for powerlifters and bodybuilders. Like it's amazing there. But no, that gym really got me into it and pushed me to actually becoming a powerlifter. As I said, my first coach is from Canada. She's from that
Hmm.
gym. So
Ah, I was gonna
that's
ask you how you ended up
yeah,
with the coach in Canada. Okay.
yeah, it's because she worked out there and she is a bodybuilder and a power lifter. So
Mm.
she, oh yeah, she's a big lady.
That's wild. Okay. You know, it's funny too, because you're saying like you walked into that gym and you were like, oh, I love this environment. This is great. And I'm thinking to myself, when I first walked into a powerlifting gym before I was a powerlifter, I was like, this is weird. What the hell is going on? It was like the exact opposite feeling. I had to go to my first meet to actually want to get into powerlifting.
Okay.
I saw people my age doing it. I don't know people your age were in there, but I was surrounded by old people powerlifting when I first started, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but literally 50-year-olds are
Yeah.
just slapping chalk on themselves. That's just lost. Like,
Oh, that's so cute.
it was a door. I mean, dude, like it was
Yeah.
all masters lifters just like having the time of their lives. But like it was very stereotypical powerlifters. Like, I mean, like, you know how back in the
Yeah.
day, powerlifting was like, all right, really large men. That's who powerlifts. Like
Yes.
that's who I was surrounded by. So I was like, this is
Yeah,
odd.
this is weird. Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
too
god.
funny.
So as of right now, are we dealing with any like is the back good? Do we have any nagging stuff during your prep for this nationals?
Actually, no. And act wait, no, that's a lie. My elbow kind of started acting up. Um, but it was because of like mopping and stuff. Like it was just little things
So
because I was so
random.
fatigued. I know.
Okay.
It was just like little things because I was so fatigued like during my prep. But that was it. And I think the reason being was because um I would text Patrick and I would just like ask him if it was okay if I would just lowball it for like the rest of my workout because my back was feeling fatigued because it felt like I through like my powerlifting journey, I've learned to like listen to my body and understand my body. And whenever I felt like my back was on the verge, I would be like, "Hey Patrick, is it okay if I just lowball this? My back is feeling sus. Like I feel like I should chill out for right now and then get back after it my next session. I'm just gonna like do some mobility work, some stretching right after, take an ice bath, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. Like I can't like tell you how many ice baths I've taken every single prep.
You know, you keep saying ice baths, and I'm thinking to myself, you say it real casually. I tried an ice bath twice in my life, and I was dying, and I stayed in for a good 20 seconds, maybe less than 20 seconds. So you real casual with this ice bath word. Like,
But it's like the more you do it, the easier it gets over time. I just kind of like turn on some music, put my phone down, ease myself in, just close my eyes, listen to the music while the timer's going, open my eyes every few minutes. It's
how
like
long is the bath?
I typically do 8 minutes.
You're wild. You're actually
Yeah.
insane. If you're
Yeah.
listening to this
Well,
podcast, can you please go try to take an 8 minute ice bath and then come back and tell me how that went? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I've been doing ice work since Brad actually. Brad got me into like ice baths and cryotherapy and like literal bucket ice baths for like my legs or something. So I've been doing them for a long time.
All right, so you're just accustomed to it. They if I feel like it's a dark
Yeah.
night. Like they built you in the shadows to be tough, and they let you out, and like now you're out here like competing.
You know what? Being compared to Batman, I will take that as a personality trait. I will.
I like it. And you also mentioned that you did a lot of sports, and obviously you did track and you did the hurdles. But what other sports did you do growing up? And what else did you do in
So
track too?
I played volleyball. I also played basketball until my junior year. No, until my sophomore year because I was like, "Nah, I don't really like this anymore." And then I ran track until my sophomore year. In track, so volleyball, I was setter and right side, and basketball, I was point guard, and um, track, I ran the 100, 200, and hurdles.
Mm.
And then I switched from track to lacrosse, which I played lacrosse all growing up when I was a kid, for travel. And I switched to lacrosse, and then I played midfield, and I also took draw. Um, I actually was committed to Wilmington University for lacrosse my junior year, and that's when I kind of went into my senior year, committed, like fully committed. I signed the NLI. Um, I went into my senior year. I started playing, and I realized I fell in love with the gym, not lacrosse anymore. So it was kind of a battle the entire season. There was a lot of pressure put on me um, because I was already committed as a senior, like on scholarship. So a lot of like the players just kind of like doubled up on me, and like it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but it was a lot of pressure. Um, I just ended up falling out of love with it because I was just in the gym every day and every night. And I was like, I really enjoy doing this because don't get me wrong, I love team sports, but I love when I can just count on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I trust myself. I've always trusted myself. If I don't do it, it's not done right. That's the kind of person that I am. And so going into powerlifting, like it's just kind of really brought me out because I love a single man show. Love it. So I had an apartment arranged. I had gear coming in for lacrosse, like my sticks, my jerseys, like everything, sweaters, sweatshirts, shoes, turf shoes, cleats, all that jazz. It was all coming in. And then I called my coach and I was like, hey, coach. I explained to him that I don't feel as though I should be a part of the team and take someone else's opportunity to be on that team if I'm not 100% in. I told him that he understood because he used to be a power lifter. Um, I told him that I fell in love with the gym and that's what I want to do with my life. And I want to uh like go to college, but I want to power lift. And he was kind of like upset because it was very late that I made this decision. Like
Mm-hmm.
we already have the entire team together. Um, he was kind of upset, but he understood, which I really appreciated because that's kind of crappy of me to put that on him because now he has to find someone to fill my position. Um, so that was also a huge decision because I wouldn't be able to play lacrosse anywhere for 3 years because that was a part of the NLI if
Mm-hmm.
I were to, yeah, stop. So it was either lacrosse or powerlifting, and if I chose powerlifting, there was no going back. So that was a huge decision, but I'm glad that I made it. So that those were all of the sports, I believe. Oh, and soccer and I don't oh, boxing actually. I competitively boxed for yeah, for 3 years? Yeah,
That's
3
cool.
years. Yeah. Oh yeah. I loved it.
Not do you still box at all, or are you just 100% powerlifting? That's it,
Mm, in my like in my garage or something. Just on my own.
just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun basically.
You're still in college or no?
Yes, I am, but
Okay.
of course I changed majors 2 years in, so.
Does that mean be here longer? Is that what you meant?
So, I was an exercise science and functional kinesiology major, and then I was like,
Okay.
"Hmm, after 2 years, let me change my major."
Okay.
So,
Two.
English.
Wait, what? I thought, wait, pause. You just said with your life, you want to just lift, but you changed to an English major.
Yes.
So what you trying to do with that?
Become an English teacher.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm gonna be a pro power lifter and an English teacher.
I mean, that's totally doable. It's just funny because you just said with your life you wanted to. So I was like, oh, she's all in
Yeah.
for like every part of her life. Like, nah, she wants to do it for herself, but she wants to be an
Mhm.
English teacher. Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. We need
Oh, yeah.
English. All right. So yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You also mentioned to me like you are working with a volleyball team. Like, what else do you do right now for work?
Oh,
You're a coach?
yeah, so yeah, I'm, actually a volleyball coach for in high school, and I'm also, the lacrosse coach for the high school as well.
Sweet. May I ask what high
Mhm.
school or is that TMI?
TMI.
Okay, my bad. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like post it or anything because I am 20, so I know some of the girls, like, some of the girls that are, uh, seniors right now, I went to school with. So,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. That makes sense. But that's cool. So, are you like the main head coach of both teams?
yeah,
That's incredible.
yep.
So, how did you become that? Is it just because like you easily had a way in, or did you like have to like take courses to become a like? I don't know how you become a coach of a team. Like,
So, typically, it's like you have to, like, go through, like, an intense interview and stuff like that to make sure you're, like, coachable worthy, but I reached out to our athletic director, and, uh, I just got in, like, ASAP because I went to school there, and, they know me as a person, as an athlete. I mean, I was captain of the teams that I played for from my junior and my senior year. So they knew me as like a well-rounded person. So they just hired me.
that's awesome. Do you like get to teach the team how to lift as well? Like, do y'all have like a gym in school?
So that is what I'm excited for lacrosse for. Yeah, we are having 6 a.m. workouts,
Oh my
which I'm so
god,
excited for.
I can tell. Like literally, I feel like your life is complete because you get to
Yeah,
coach this.
no, like I'm so excited.
That's incredible because I always say like I went to a very small private Christian school and I did track and like I was always told I was good and like I it was pretty good, but they did not utilize the weight room. We had one, it wasn't big, but they never
Right.
took us to it. I was so weak I could barely do a push up. And like now, years later, obviously I'm strong and I'm like, yo, y'all should have had me in there if you want me to be good.
Yeah.
Like it makes no
Oh yeah.
sense. Why was the room there? I'm telling you, it was used like once a year by like one guy, one time. Like, like nothing
Oh my
makes
gosh.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Make that make sense.
So I'm very happy to hear more people who are very experienced in like powerlifting are coming back to schools. Like you're like the third person I talked to this year. It's like, yeah, I'm going back to the school I went to. I'm teaching them how to live. Like, yes, because no one taught us how to live.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm thrilled to teach these girls. You know what I mean? Like getting girls not necessarily into like a powerlifting sport, but just in the gym and getting comfortable, like doing the movements, being around other females, like it's such a great community. And I'm excited.
I think it's great too because I don't know like what your experience was with body image in high school and stuff, but like it's tough out there when you're younger and especially with social media and stuff. And like I feel like having a coach that like push you to like get strong and focus on how your body feels getting strong when you're that young is highly impressionable.
Yeah, yeah, and it builds their confidence. Like when I started lifting in high school, it built my confidence so much. Like I pack on muscle fairly quick.
Oh, I had no
I
idea. I did not notice.
no, like actually like, it was kind of annoying because even in high school, I got accused of being on roids by,
Oh,
like,
really? That's
little
annoying.
boys. Yeah, by little boys, like, I had this, kid from a school actually yell that I was on steroids while I was in a game, um, playing. Yeah, my mother was sitting in front of him, so that didn't end up well, but it was
Oh.
little things like that that just kind of almost tore me down when I was just starting to build confidence, um, because one thing I don't like is not necessarily being called a liar, but being accused of things that I'm not doing.
Mhm.
That, like, fires me up. So it just kinda, like, shut me down. I kinda didn't wanna, like, lift heavy anymore because I didn't wanna get big. Like, I didn't wanna, like, make people think that I was, like, doing things wrong. You know what I mean? Or, like, cheating, basically. So, honestly, it wasn't until Ben came around that I actually was like, "Why do I care what people think? Like, why am I limiting myself because I'm scared of what other people think and what they're gonna say?" So he helped me build my confidence with that. He got me back into lifting heavy because I stopped lifting heavy. I literally did.
Mm.
Like, I was squatting like 135 when I could squat literally 315. Like, I didn't wanna push it. So, I'm glad that I've, like, changed my mentality to not caring what no one thinks, doing my own thing, everyone else's opinion's irrelevant. Like, it's a great mind switch and a great way to live, to be honest.
It really is, and that's incredible to hear because I I don't know what it's like to be someone who like packs on muscle fast so people in high school think that I'm doing stuff. But I know it's tough because like it's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum where it's like, no, people are like, oh, you're doing stuff and like you shouldn't lift so heavy. And we all know that's ridiculous that you should not lift heavy
Yeah,
because like this is stupid. So like it's hard to
yeah,
like go from being there to like I don't care about people's opinions. So it's dope that
yeah.
you're also paying that forward as a coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ah, I love it.
I want these girls to feel as confident as possible. I don't want them to listen to any outside opinions. Nobody else's opinion matters except for yourself. I'm all for self-love, like, you do you, girl, like, I'm here to back you 100%.
I love it. Going back to you saying you're excited for your next competition, what is next for you?
The Arnold's, actually.
Hey, it's your first one,
Yeah,
right?
it's my first one. I'm so
Ah,
excited.
that's exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about your first one. Because like the first one's always just like mind blowing in my opinion, depending on what year you go. Because we had the weird years with 2020. But still, it's such a cool experience.
I'm so excited. I was actually what? Because their, like, dots total, what was it last year? Whatever it was, I was 2
Well, for
dots
the
off.
raw challenge, I think for woman was like 450 for the raw challenge.
I
Dang.
think yeah, I think so, and I was like,
Oh no,
"No."
I'm lying. It was 475 because you have 474 dots. It was
Yeah,
475.
I was 1 dot off.
Yes, you were.
So,
You were actually 0.79 of a dot away.
yeah, yeah, but, it's okay. I was what, 19 at the time?
Yep.
So, year 20, I'm coming in hot.
Hey, that's super exciting. And then last thing, I mean, you're already young and you've already said a lot, but what is one piece of advice you would have given yourself when you were, I guess, 16, younger, any age younger, that you like that you wish you knew that you know now?
Hmm, there's so much. Like, I feel like young lifters are just, like, all out. Um, I would definitely say, hmm, I would say probably to, trust my body and, well, trust your body. Um, do your workouts based off of how you feel. When I was younger, I literally went to the gym probably 2 times a day. I was very fatigued. I drank no water. I strictly only ate protein, did not care.
Oh
I
Lord.
had very little knowledge of nutrition, of lifting, of anything. All I knew was I wanted to get jacked. So I was going 2 times a day. Uh, I was, like, murdering myself, going to complete failure with every single, like, accessory. I didn't necessarily do, um I'm drawing a blank. Not
Uh
comp lifts, compounds, sorry.
okay.
Um, yeah, I didn't necessarily do compounds, but I just did a ton of accessories, like, a ton. I was probably there for, like, 3 to 4 hours, but I went to failure with every single one. And granted, I think that plays a big factor in the physique that I have today, but it definitely was not smart to do, as it's like, the injuries that I sustain now. So I would definitely give advice to my younger self to, listen to your body and not kill yourself every single day because that's not healthy, and fix your nutrition because that is also not healthy to literally only eat protein and drink milk, whole milk.
Yo, what was with the whole milk? Was it like from the commercial? Like you were inspired?
I was well, we had, at my high school, we had, a strength conditioning coach, and he sold us like a whole, like, it was like a big thing of milk for $1, and he was like,
Okay.
"Drink this and you'll get jacked." And I was like,
Wow,
"If I drink this, Imma get jacked." So sure
that's
enough, I
insane.
I religiously drank whole milk. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I mean, milk is great, but like just an insane statement.
Yeah. I
This
drink it every
milk.
day. Every day.
All right.
Chocolate milk
Well,
chocolate milk, actually, I had to spice it up, so
there we go. There we
yeah,
go. At least you have some flavor there.
I did, yeah.
Nataleigh, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for joining me today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. And y'all catch you next time on the Power and Lifting Podcast. Guys, thank you so, so much for listening. Again, please do leave us a 5-star rating and review so it gets out to more people. If you love the episode, make sure you share it with a friend. And I love your support. I appreciate all of you. Catch you next time.